Talk about it.
Well, first up, we got Russell Wilson. He is going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, he announces. He's a year 13 grateful in Steelers. And listen, he's signing for the veteran minimum. And any of you out there that follow any so-called sports broadcaster, sports content creator, whether it's on one of those big major shows or some, smaller show like ours and whatnot, and if you had anyone saying that Russell Wilson, it all depends on who can pay him the most. If it's whoever's going to give him the most money, like who can afford Russell Wilson, you need to stop listening to those people because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. It makes me so mad because I heard so many people say that and talk about that, and I go, you guys are dumb. He's signing for the veteran minimum wherever he goes because no matter what happens, unless someone pays him more than $40 million, which they're not going to this year, Russell Wilson isn't making any more than the 39 point whatever million he is getting from Denver. So whatever he signs for, Denver gets to subtract from what they owe him. Meaning, if Russell Wilson would have signed for $20 million, well, then that team would be paying him 20, whoever he signed with, and then you would subtract 20 off of what Denver owed, so Denver would owe him like 19 point whatever. So why would Russell Wilson hurt his new team that he's going to by making them pay him money and affect their salary cap? So instead, it makes perfect sense that he's signing for the veteran minimum and make Denver pay the most that they absolutely have to for him because he's going to get the money no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. Russell Wilson is signed for the veteran minimum. He is going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, and this is going to be interesting, Cricket.
It is interesting. I still think I don't think it's going to matter. But at the same time, that's pretty weird deal, man. You always know about these contracts and stuff. And that does make a lot of sense. He was going to sign for the veteran minimum where he went, huh?
Yeah,
Denver was paying that contract
for a week now, or a couple weeks, and all I hear is from even like shows that I like. They keep talking about, man, who's going to get it's Russell Wilson's going to go get that bag. He's going to go over where he can get the most money. And now maybe if it was like a contract, like a 5-year contract or a 3-year contract, like that would make sense. But even then, it would be front loaded, it'd be back loaded because the front load would be the like 1.2 million, the veteran minimum. Either way, no one was going to give him a long-term contract. It made so much more sense that he was going to sign a 1-year deal. So like if it works out in Pittsburgh this year, then they'll obviously extend him. Yeah. Right. So I don't know.
So this is the last year.
It was a win-win for both the player and whatever, now the Steelers who he signed with.
Yeah, it would seem so. All people losing this one, Denver Broncos. I feel like, is this the last year of that contract? So after this year, he's unrestricted free agent.
Yeah. He's a free. Yeah, it's just a 1-year deal he's signing.
Okay, gotcha.
It has nothing to do with Denver. This is the last year Denver has to pay him though. So
right.
No, I think they owe him next year as well. I think they owe him next year as well.
Oh, okay.
I have to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
No, I think they owe him money this year. Yeah, they owe him money this year, but they don't owe him anything, but they still have to account for him on their cap. If that makes sense. They don't actually have to cut him a check next year.
I got you. But he is part of the cap space.
Mm-hmm. Last year. That's
okay.
Because remember, we were looking at that. If they would have hung on to him one more year, they would have had to, had him account even more against the cap for the following 2 years. That's why they made it.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember now. Okay, well, they did good. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Then they figure next year's probably a rebuilding year. I would have to think they would think it is. But how many more years can you think Sean Payton's got, man?
I think as many as he wants.
I don't know that it really matters, man. I don't know if I think that guy's better years are behind him.
We'll see. What do you think's going to happen here, though? Russell in Pittsburgh kind of seems like a good fit, huh? Kind of seems like if he goes back to the Seattle ways of, the kind of their defense first, run first kind of team. It's kind of weird that this Pittsburgh Steelers general manager came out and was like, we're all behind Kenny Pickett. And it's like, are you, though? Because you benched the dude multiple times this year. I think you're going to go look for a quarterback.
This doesn't show a lot of support if you're Kenny Pickett.
Well, you just can't trust anything these people say. You can't, no matter what team it is, because they're like, oh, no, we're all 100% behind Kenny Pickett. It's like, but you benched him for, what was it, Mason Rudolph or whatever did they bench him for at the end of the year?
Trubisky and then Mason Rudolph. You got benched for Mitchell Trubisky.
I thought Trubisky was on Buffalo last year.
No, he was on the Steelers.
He's on Buffalo now, though. Okay.
Yeah, he's on Buffalo now.
I thought he was backing up, but either way, you got benched, and then you come out and say, "Oh, we're going to go forward with him." It's like I don't believe you.
It's fair. It's a fair thing not to believe.
And look
Actions
at
speak louder than words.
I was right. So I think I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. If Russell Wilson can revive his career here, it's gonna be. I don't know, man. I'm not ready to say that it's not gonna work out because I could see a weird scenario where it does. And I mean, we all know Tomlin and the Steelers. They don't go below 500, so there's a good chance this team's going to the playoffs next year.
That's true. They don't go below 500. That's fair. Get a shot to play, man.
Ooh.